Hey everyone, it's Derek here with Moist Sauce Productions, and today we are reviewing a 2017 Toyota Corolla LE. Taking a look at the exterior of the car, it looks really nice, at least in the front. The rear, on the other hand, looks pretty plain Jane. It's not anything to scuff about or anything like that. I really do like the front, and the overall exterior is pretty nice, definitely compared to its previous models. Now, this car was refreshed in 2014 and hasn't really changed much since then, and that's pretty annoying in my opinion, especially because the engine remains the same. It's a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine with 132 horsepower and 128 pound-foot of torque, and it's basically the same 1.8 liter engine that's been in the Toyota Corolla for I don't know how many years. So let's move on to the interior, which is kind of an interesting place to be. Toyota's really not thinking outside of the box here. They're really placing things where things should really go. There's buttons for everything. Climate control is a little bit interesting. It has a CVT transmission in which you can put it into sport mode, in which the throttle mapping responds a little bit more aggressively. Now, most people don't get into Toyota Corollas because they love driving them. It's mostly because they're reliable, the interior's okay, and the interior here is not bad, it's just not amazing. The seats are nice, rear leg room is good, and these types of cars, the small sedans, are now turning into what used to be the midsize sedan. So there is quite a bit of interior room in here. So what's really annoying to me is there's no latch in the back to open the trunk. You can do it via this key or in the driver's seat. Trunk space is ample. I think it's really good size for this small sedan category. And the rear seat, for some reason, has 4 cup holders. Not sure how many people you're sitting back there, but there's 4. In case you need 4. Now, the 40-60 split is pretty decent. It's easy to get down, but the opening isn't that large, so you can fit like snowboards and stuff like that in pretty long boxes. The interior lighting is actually pretty nice. I like it, especially at night. The blues are nice and they're easy on my eyes. However, the climate controls were really difficult for me to use. It's not very intuitive. Oh, lane keep assist. First time using lane keep assist. It works actually pretty well in this system. And I was able to let off the wheel for a little bit, and it would beep at me and actually pull the wheel and center me. So it was pretty nice and fairly easy to use. I haven't used any other systems, so I can't really vouch for how good it is compared to autopilot or any other systems from different companies like Honda or the luxury brands like BMW or Lexus or anything like that.
Dial 206-555-1886.
Call personal phone.
Say the list number of the one you want, or say none of these.
The touchscreen is very responsive, and you still have the volume knob and tuning knob. And you can also control the climate control completely separate of the touchscreen, which is nice to have as well. The buttons are fairly tactile, pretty cheap knobs, but they work, and I feel like they won't break or they won't have any issues standing to the test of time. The backup camera clarity is not the greatest, and you can see back there, it's no big deal. Also talked about the sport mode that you can be in, and the sport mode is actually, like I said, makes the throttle response a little bit better and holds RPMs, but not really because it's a CVT. You can also turn the traction control off, and you can also turn stability control off if you hold the button as well. So let's talk about how it drives. It's comfortable on the highway, it's comfortable driving in the city. It's not really meant for corners. It's a Corolla, it's a front wheel drive. weighs about 2,870 pounds, and it's really not a sports car by any means, but it'll get you from point A to point B. And speaking of point A to point B, 28 miles in the city and 36 miles on the highway. So it gets really good gas mileage as well. It's an electronic rack. It's not the greatest. Steering wheel doesn't feel that great. It feels pretty plasticky. And overall, would I buy this car? If I'm looking for a car within a budget, probably around $18,000 to $20,000, and I need a car that'll get me from point A to point B for the next 10 years, look no further. Toyota has proven for over the past 50 years that they are a car brand who caters to reliability over anything else.